If you enjoy videos like this, subscribe to the channel before the video starts. The room was dark. Cold metal walls surrounded her, and the chains that held her clinked softly as she moved. She had been here for as long as she could remember. Alone. Afraid. No one came to talk to her, no one smiled. Only machines hummed and humans watched from behind glass. Her eyes, large and bright, reflected the dim lights above. She tried to remember a time when she was free, but her memory was like fog. All she knew was this place, these chains, and the endless waiting. Sometimes, she would whisper her own name to feel less lonely. Ari. Ari, her voice sounded strange to her own ears, echoing in the empty room. The chains were heavy, biting into her skin when she moved. She had tried many times to escape. She pulled, kicked, even tried to slip through the bars. But nothing worked. The humans were too clever. Their doors were locked, their cameras always watching. Each failed attempt left her more tired, more hopeless. She curled into a corner, hugging her knees. Her mind wandered to the stories she had heard from the other prisoners. They were gone now, taken somewhere she could not imagine. She shivered, wondering if anyone would ever come for her. No one ever did. Then, she heard a soft sound. A footstep, gentle, careful. Her ears twitched. She held her breath. Another step. This one was different. Not the harsh boots of the humans who brought her here. Not the cold shuffle of guards. This was soft. Human, but kind. She froze. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. Could it be? Was someone here for her? The shadow appeared at the edge of the door, and for a moment, she couldn't breathe. A hand reached toward the chains, not with tools or force, but slowly, gently. "Shoo, it's okay," a voice whispered. Calm, soft, warm. It made her tremble in confusion. She didn't trust anyone, not anymore. But something in that voice, it felt like hope. Her claws tightened around the chains. She wanted to run, to hide, but her legs shook. The human knelt down, looking at her with eyes that did not judge or fear. Slowly, carefully, they touched the lock on her chains. It clicked. She flinched, unsure if this was real. Freedom? Could it be that simple? A small smile appeared on her face. A tiny spark she had never felt before stirred in her chest. Maybe she could leave this place. Maybe she could be free. But just as she took a small step toward the human, a loud alarm rang through the room. Red lights flashed. Sirens screamed. Her heart raced. The human grabbed her hand, pulling her toward the door. "Run," they shouted. The chains clanked behind her as they ran through the dark corridors. Her legs were weak, but fear and hope pushed her forward. Something was chasing them. Something big. Something dangerous. And in that moment, Ari realized that her life had changed forever. But the road ahead was not safe. Danger lurked in every shadow, and she would have to trust this human, or be trapped forever. The alarm echoed through the cold corridors, but Ari barely noticed. Her chest heaved, and her legs felt like they might give out, yet she ran. The human's hand in hers was warm, strong, and steady. She had never felt anything like it. Fear pulsed in every corner of her mind, but beneath it, a strange spark of hope flickered. They turned a corner, and the shadow of the chasing guards loomed behind them. Machines clanked, doors slammed, but the human kept moving, whispering, "Almost there, just a little further." Ari's claws scraped against the metal floor, sparks flying with each desperate step. Her heart was pounding so hard she thought it might burst. Finally, they reached a heavy, metal door at the end of the corridor. The human knelt, pressing strange buttons in a rhythm she did not understand. The door hissed, then slowly creaked open. A rush of cool air hit her face. Outside. Light. Freedom. For a moment, Ari froze. The sky was wide and blue, so different from the dark, cramped lab she had always known. Strange plants swayed in the breeze, and the air smelled of life, fresh, untamed, and full of promise. She could feel her chest swelling with something she had never felt before, hope. The human smiled at her. "Go," they said softly. "Run and don't look back." Ari hesitated. Trust did not come easily. She had been hurt too many times, locked away too long. But the warmth in the human's hand, the kindness in their eyes, it called to something deep inside her. Slowly, she took a step forward. Then another. And another. Suddenly, a loud roar split the air. Ari's ears flattened against her head. Something enormous was moving toward them. Shadows stretched across the glowing ground. She felt the ground tremble under her feet. Faster, the human shouted, pulling her along. Ari leaped over fallen branches, her claws barely gripping the uneven ground. The thing behind them, whatever it was, crashed through the forest, and she could feel its power. She wanted to scream, to stop running, but the human's hand was her anchor. She would not let go. Finally, they reached a narrow canyon. The human stopped and looked at her. "You can do this. Jump." Ari hesitated, staring at the drop. Below, rocks jagged and cold, the shadows still moving above. Fear clutched her heart. But then she remembered the chains, the endless days of darkness, the loneliness. She could never go back. With one deep breath, she leaped. Wind rushed past her face. The ground approached fast, then she landed, rolling to absorb the impact. The human landed beside her, laughing softly. "See? You're stronger than you think." Ari looked back at the canyon, the dark lab far behind them. She was free. But danger was still close. She could feel it. Something hunted them. Something that would not stop until it had them both. And in that moment, she realized freedom was not the end, it was just the beginning. Ari's legs were sore, her chest heaving, but she kept moving. The shadow that had chased them finally slowed, confused by the canyon's twists and turns. She dared to glance back. The dark lab, the chains, the cold walls, they were gone behind her. The world in front of her was unlike anything she had ever imagined. The human stopped at the edge of a cliff. Beyond it stretched a vast landscape of glowing forests, rivers that shimmered like liquid silver, and mountains that seemed to touch the sky. Strange creatures moved in the distance, watching, curious but not hostile. Ari's eyes widened. She had never seen colors like this, never imagined a place so alive. The human crouched beside her, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "This is your choice," they said softly. "You can stay hidden in the shadows, or you can step into a world that's bigger than you ever dreamed." Ari hesitated. For so long, she had known only chains, darkness, and fear. But now, freedom was more than a word. It was the wind on her face, the soft ground under her feet, the sky stretching endlessly above her. She felt something stirring inside her, a power she had forgotten existed. Slowly, she stepped forward. Then another. The wind wrapped around her, lifting her spirit with each step. She looked at the human, who nodded, smiling, and for the first time, Ari felt something she had never felt, trust. Suddenly, a distant roar shattered the calm. Ari froze. From the shadows of the mountains, a massive figure emerged, bigger, stronger, and faster than anything she had ever faced. Her claws flexed, ready to fight. But the human whispered, "You're not alone anymore. We face it together." Ari's heart pounded. The fear was real, but so was the courage she had never known. She realized something important: freedom was not just escaping chains. Freedom was choosing to face danger, to stand tall, and to live fully, even when the unknown was frightening. Together, they ran toward the glowing forests. Each step was lighter than the last. The massive shadow followed, but Ari felt no panic. She had her strength, her speed, and most importantly, her new companion by her side. At the edge of the forest, Ari paused. The wind carried scents of new life, strange and beautiful. She looked at the human and whispered, "Thank you for giving me this." The human smiled. "No. You gave it to yourself." And as the sun set, painting the sky in brilliant gold and violet, Ari realized that this was not just an escape, it was a beginning. A world full of challenges, mysteries, and wonders awaited her. Her chains were gone, her loneliness vanished, and her heart, once heavy with fear, now burned with hope. But in the far distance, beyond the mountains, a dark shape moved silently. Ari did not see it yet, but the adventure was far from over. Freedom had a cost, and the story of her new life was only just beginning.